Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Gates, Gardens of Lakeside Chapala. I'm your host, Francisco Nava, and today we'll be touring a shade garden, an amazing shade garden, owned by our hostess, Anta. And today we've been invited to the garden of Anta, who is an amazing artist, an amazing gardener, and she's been gracious enough to have us into her home. So let us welcome Anta. Welcome, Anta.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Great to have you here.
Anta, tell us a little bit about your garden, because I think it's a very special garden.
Well, it's developed into a shade garden because when we came here, and actually tomorrow is my 22nd anniversary of when we arrived. And it was just overgrown bougainvillea hedges on both sides of the garden, and that was all there was. And so I love gardening, so I decided that I needed to create something. So I decided I needed to have a bit of shade. So I went and bought what I was told was about a 2-meter tabaccine or Royal Poinciana tree. Well, you will see it. It's probably 30 feet high now, and it could spread over my whole garden. So my garden has become a shade garden, and so I now specialize in shade plants.
So Anta, tell us about this amazing tree again that you planted 20 years ago.
Well, I planted it 20 years ago, and thank goodness I didn't plant it any closer to the house, because if you can see, the roots are rising up and up and up, and I mean they could probably come up in the middle of my sitting room if I don't take care. And I have to get it pruned every single year because otherwise it would extend beyond the wall and right over the house.
Let's talk about shade, because there's several kinds of shade. There's full shade.
Yes.
There's part shade, part sun. There's dappled shade. And your tree
I think I would call it dappled shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a beautiful clerodendron. It comes out with big clusters of white flowers.
And the leaves are so gorgeous.
Yes, they're absolutely beautiful.
Burgundy underneath and
Yes.
forest green on top.
Yes.
So this is a volunteer.
That's a volunteer, like so much in my garden.
And then your staghorn fern is very happy here as well.
Yes, my staghorn fern is very happy.
When did you get this? How long ago?
I think I've probably had that for about 4 years. It grows very, very slowly.
Very slowly.
Yes.
Yeah. Some more orchids. There's such a large variety.
Yes.
And you have so many.
This is a Vanda orchid, which apparently, according to the orchid experts, should never be there. And it flowers totally happily.
It's happy.
And it's put out a baby, and that flowered, about 2 months ago. They were both in flower.
I like it when we try new things and they are successful.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
That's the way we learn.
Yes. And then these
You have
these of course,
bromeliads down here.
are bromeliads, and all these are second-generation bromeliads. They're ones that I bought in flower, and then I just left the plant, and a new one came out and produced babies. So, and I've got them in all different sorts
Beautiful
of colors.
yeah. And then of course,
And this again that's a tillandsia.
so beautiful.
Yes.
So beautiful. The colors are just otherworldly. They're unreal.
And then I think these are rather nice.
Look at that.
Yes.
What do you know what that is?
I can't remember what the name is, but
We'll look it up.
yes, it really is. It's just beautiful, I think.
Sort of like a lady slipper.
Yes, it is. And then I've got my little
Yes.
fairy door.
I love that. I love that design. And we'll take a close-up of that so that you can really get a good look at it. That's where the duendes live. Duendes, fairies, Spanish.
Duendes.
Duende.
Duende.
And then over here, the lower 40, as I call your garden over here, is also a very special place with the fountain and this beautiful bird of paradise.
Which is really surprising because I think bird of paradise really likes sun.
Usually, yeah.
But and it doesn't flower prolifically, but it flowers enough, and I just love it. So.
And the size
Yes.
is wonderful.
And that actually was here when we moved in. 20.
So it's one of the original plants.
Yes, one of the originals. I think just about the only thing that was in the garden. And so that's over 20 years old.
That's beautiful. And you have these wonderful ground covers here, you know, different kinds, coleus, and this plant here is...
That is violets.
Those are violets.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. They look beautiful there.
Yeah. And these ones are those lilies, and those ones are white and those ones are pink.
And the variegation that you have on your plants is really stunning, isn't it?
That's hibiscus.
Yeah, but the leaf is so distinctive. Beautiful.
Yes,
and this is a red one.
That's right,
yeah,
yes.
If I recall.
Yes, unfortunately nothing's out at the moment.
And then you have variegation in your Chapalera as well.
Yes.
And you have various specimens of Kaolin Koi throughout your garden.
Yes.
And then you also have Vinca, which I love. And
which of course is a volunteer.
Yeah, but I love the flower that it gives you all the time.
And that container was actually a fountain inside the house. And twice I was filling the fountain and I forgot about it, and so I flooded the whole house, so I decided that it would be better outside.
I had a house like that too, and we tried it, the fountain, when we first got there, and it just splattered everywhere, so we just never used it.
Well, I just turned the tap on to fill it, and I went away and did something else, and I came back and 2 inches of water, oh dear.
So better out here as a planter.
Here, yes. And this
is a phenomenal plant. Yeah.
It's dragon fruit, you know. What's the other name for it? A pitihaya. Pitihaya. That's right.
Yeah.
And I actually have some fruit which I'll bring out and show you.
Okay.
And the flowers are this big.
Beautiful
and
flowers.
Beautiful perfume.
And how long do they last when it does flower?
They come out at night, and I have a feeling they must be pollinated by bats, and as soon as the sun gets to them, they die.
So very short-lived.
And most of them, in point of fact, this year for some reason I had 2 flowerings, and my first flowerings I had lots of flowers, but nothing set fruit at all. And then about 2 months later I had more, and they set fruit, but not very much.
How many did you get?
6.
6 of them. Well, that's not a bad
But not bad, and you know, some of them were this big.
And they're fantastic colors, right? Yeah.
Yes, well, you have the
we'll
two,
show one of your
the
photographs.
2 colors, you know, the white, which is
white with black seeds.
yes,
yeah.
and then,
the
incredible fuchsia color with
color.
black, again, black seeds. This one, it's called Chinaman's hat.
Chinaman's hat. But there's another coloration.
Yes.
Yeah, the red. Oh, here it is.
The
Okay.
red.
Yeah, so you have the red and the yellow,
Yes.
green. Yeah, this is a fantastic color.
This
I
is
love
much
this.
more unusual.
Kind of a sweet potato green.
Yes,
yeah?
it is.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And I think there's quite a lot more up there. Yes, in fact there is a lot
There's
more of the
another
yellow up
spray.
there.
That's beautiful. But look at this now. Whoa.
Now that's a Clerodendrum.
That's gorgeous.
Yes. I think I have 5 different sorts of Clerodendron in the garden, and they're all absolutely and totally different.
Beautiful. And the leaf is gorgeous as well.
Yes.
And do they all kind of have similar environments, or are some more
Well,
in shade?
I'll
some...
show you.
Okay.
This is another Clerodendron.
Look at how different.
Isn't it different? I mean, I'm sure when they eventually come to DNA everything, I think they're going to split them up because they're totally different. And then this is another Clerodendrum, and this is a vine.
As opposed to
as opposed, yes, and as opposed to that. And then the one over there with the deep maroon on the back of the leaves, that's another Clerodendrum, but it isn't. It's not a vine. So you see, but I love that.
Look at this
I
color.
like the
The combination.
Yeah. And I also have the usual one that's called Bleeding Heart.
Oh yes, Bleeding
Yes.
Heart, which
That's not flowering at the moment.
it's very Mexican because of the colors. Yes,
Yes.
red, white, and green.
Yes.
Yeah. And now we enter your sort of
My only bit of sun garden.
sun garden.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have things like your agaves, which are beautiful, your
Yes.
croto, which is lovely, and then
Some of these are quite weird. This has black flowers, and this comes out, again it's in my book, and it comes out in a beautiful flower, and it opens at night, and so I take the pot and I put it inside, and it perfumes the whole house.
Echinoceras, I think this is, and then you have a baby.
It's volunteered.
A crown of thorns here.
Yes,
Baby
yes.
crown of thorns.
Yes.
Look at these. They're gorgeous.
Yes, they come out with
Sedums.
little purple flowers. The whole thing will be purple flowers. And then I rather like these because they have green flowers.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then you have a sombrero duende here.
Yes.
A
Yes, I have all
mushroom
sorts of...
sombrero duende.
I
Here's
have-
another one here.
Another one there.
Yeah.
Yes, little chap.
So cute.
And then my fairy house.
Yeah, we were looking at that, and Axel noticed that you actually made a planter for
Yes.
a little plant that
I've
would
got
go.
two little planters, and both of those have cactuses in them.
Lovely.
That was one hell of a job.
That's a
for me.
lot of work. Yeah,
Huge
a
amount
lot
of work.
And,
And
then
then
you have.
this is another one.
Oh, that's another piece of yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And look at this little guy up here. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Was
all.
it two-tiered? Yeah.
That's
That's the way
yes,
you
it's
designed
attached.
it.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
attached
beautiful.
together. And this is an unusual orchid. At least I think it is.
Oh, look at that.
I think that's really rather pretty.
That's beautiful.
And I asked Libby what it was just yesterday, but I can't remember what the name is.
Was she able to identify?
Yes, oh yes, she's the expert on orchids. But
We'll
it's
have to find out what the name of that is. It's so unusual. Huh?
isn't it? Yes.
Wow. Mother Nature,
Mother
the best
Nature.
designer in the world. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can put colours in nature together that you would never think of putting together, you know. And they go.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And then in back of us is your famous vanilla plant.
My
vine.
vanilla vine, yes.
Yeah, which gives you pods every year almost.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
every year. I usually get about 20 to 25 pods, and you can see there are pods there.
There's a couple already. Yes, right there.
But they take about a year from when the flower is an orchid and it lasts a day, and then they will sometimes set fruit or seeds, and it takes about a year
For it to develop.
and they go black, and then very often they'll split open, and the vanilla will actually drip out of it, and the smell of vanilla is just wonderful.
Well, Anta, we can't thank you enough for having us in your magical garden.
Well, it was a delight to show it to you. I always enjoy showing my garden to people who appreciate it, because it's one of my great loves.
Yeah, it's obvious that you do love your garden.
I do,
And
yes. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
thank you for sharing it with us
Well, you're
today.
very welcome, and thank you for asking me to participate.
So we'll wrap up with that. This will be the end of our second video for the series.
Right, I want to see the first one.
Yes, and we're just about to finalize that and put it up for everybody to see. So,
Wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful.
So we'll see you next time
Yes.
on Beyond the Gates, Gardens of Lakeside, Chapala. Thank you. Bye-bye.